Hello, this is Pete with North Carolina Wood Toys. And today I'm going to show you how to assemble your biplane kit to make your biplane airplane. You should get a package, priority mail, with all the components. And here's what you're going to get. The body, 2 wings, package of small parts, and some other assorted pieces. So, first thing we want to do is attach the bottom wing to the body. But let me cover what some tools and equipment you're going to need to put this together. Of course, you're going to need some glue. Wood glue is the best. Not white glue, but the yellow wood glue. And I've got Elmer's. Tight Bond makes some, and there's other companies that make wood glue. It also needs a clamp, sort of maybe like the 6-inch spring clamp, or bar clamp, or I'll cover some other options in case you don't have any of this equipment. So the first thing we want to do is attach the bottom wing to the body. First, I like to dry fit things. And these wings will be marked B for the bottom one. A T will be on the one that goes on the top. And you'll have a center mark here on this part of the wing that I already put on there, so you can make sure you center the wing. So you can see I want to dry fit it, make sure it's going to fit on there in the center where I'm going to want it, and that looks good. And of course this will go on top after you put the wing struts in, which are in this package. So the first step is to attach this wing in a permanent fashion. So we'll use the wood glue to do that. So wood glue. And we'll put some on. You're going to want to not apply a finish to the wood components until afterwards, so that the glue has a good surface area to contact with the wood. If you put a finish on it like paint or varnish, the glue will not attach very well. So we did the dry fit, so we know where it goes. I've got it centered in the body. I check this. Make sure we don't have any glue squeezing out the joints. If you do, you're going to want to wipe that off. Usually a wet towel will work the best, so you get the glue off of the wood. If it just smears on there, the finish won't take very well. So now here's where these 2 shims that I sent with you in the kit come in handy, because if you put a clamp directly on the wood, it'll damage the wood, may dent it or scratch it. So I use this shim on both sides to protect the wood as I put a clamp on. So there we go, it's clamped. Take maybe about an hour, maybe 45 minutes to let the glue set up before we do the next section to put on. But let's say you don't have a spring clamp to hold this on here. Like I said, you could use a bar clamp. Really all you need is some weight and pressure to hold these together. So if you don't have anything, I'm sure you got something in your basement or in your kitchen that'll work. All you need is weight. So I've got, see, a can of paint will work. So we'll protect the wood. And just set it on there on a sturdy surface. Make sure it's level and doesn't tip over. And there's your weight adding pressure. You could use a 5-pound bag of sugar. Well, if you can find one. I guess they're only 4 pounds now in the grocery stores. So maybe use 2. Get enough weight and pressure on there until the glue sets up. So we'll let this set here, set up, and then we'll come back in 45 minutes or so after it's set up and show you the next step. Okay, we've let this set up for a while, so we're back. We'll go to the next step. And that is to attach the top wing. You see, that's what it's going to look like. Now, before we glue this on, we want to put the struts in. They're here in your bag of small parts, along with the wheel axles and the tail section. So after we finish attaching this top wing and glue and set that up, then we'll go ahead and attach the tail section, just so you know what's coming next. We'll do that, then we'll attach the gear underneath, add the wheels and the propellers, and then we'll be done. So, to attach this top section, top wing, I sent you 2 struts, 1/4-inch dowels. They may be different lengths because when I dry fit these, somehow the wood was not perfectly level between the two. So one side is closer together than the other, so you may have to do a dry fit to see which strut goes where. So on here I can see that the shorter one would go on this side because it's got some overlap, and the longer one to fit in between the holes goes on this side. I've pre-drilled the holes so that everything will fit nice. So let's just dry fit so you can see what it's going to look like. And dry fit means we just do it without the glue. So you can see they're in there pretty snug. That's what it's going to look like. So now we'll go ahead and glue them up. Our wood glue again. So I want a little bit of glue in the hole. Don't put too much because if it squeezes out, then you may have a mess on your hands because they're very difficult to get into that spot to clean out. So we put this one in here, turn it a little bit to spread the glue around to all sides of the hole. We'll add just a little dab. It's hard to tell you exactly how much, but less is better. And then we'll put some on here, spread that around. Just be careful because the glue, if it gets on your surfaces, is very hard to clean up, and then your finish that you apply will not adhere very well. Okay, here again, it's in place. We use our shims, our scraps as protectors, and we put our clamp on and let that sit for another 45 minutes or so. So there you go, that's what it's going to look like when you're done. Okay, now we're back after the second wing is glued up and set. So we'll take things apart, the clamp, and we're going to want to add our tail section next. This goes with the rounded edge to the front. We dry fit that again, see how it's going to look. Yeah. Easy to center, because I put a groove in here for the rudder that will go on next. So here, this is just an easy glue up with your glue. Put a little dab on both edges. Some there, around there. And we set that there, kind of squeeze it in place before we add the clamp. Okay, we're back. We had technical difficulty in the last segment. We ran out of film just as I was putting the clamp on. But here's what putting the clamp, what it would look like using clamps. If you don't have a spring clamp, set some weight on here after you glue it up. Like I said, a can of sugar or a bag of sugar would work, something, but you want it to sit level. So you may, if you were to set something on here, it could tip over. So a good trick is to maybe use the gear as a level. To level that out, put a board on top, and then you can set your weight. You know, your can of paint, your bag of sugar, something on here so it's level to set up. So that's how you would have done that. Now we want to add our rudder section, and that's a vertical piece. Fits in the slot. Glue. Again, we'll glue this up, but let me show you how we're going to put some pressure on that, because that's going to be kind of difficult to put a clamp on without it tipping over and to keep pressure on there. So what I found is after you put glue in this slot, you put it in here, just turn the whole thing upside down, and you're going to wind up like this, and then you can put your weight on here and not have to use a clamp at all. So board, give it a more flat surface, and then you would do this. And set it up like that. So I'll go ahead and do that so you can see what the, and that's how I would put pressure on there to help the glue set up. Okay, we're back from gluing up the rudder section. As you can see, it's attached nice and firmly, and it's straight. So the next segment we want to add is the landing gear down here. and that's what it'll look like. So how do we add pressure to that? I just like to use the pressure of the airplane itself, like that, but we want to keep it sort of level. So if you got something to set under the back end, like the spring clamp, what else you have in your kit? Hey, you could use a stack of tires to keep it somewhat level. And then usually there's enough weight here. The airplane weighs about a pound, and then just that weight, if you wanted to add some more weight on top, you could do that. So let's go ahead and glue this on real quick. Light amount of glue, center it where you want it. I put a little pressure here now, get it to stick, because it could get a little sloppy as you put weight on it. So we'll just do that and let it sit there for about a half hour or so, 45 minutes, and that should be enough for the glue to set up, and we can go to the next phase. Okay, after the landing gear section has been allowed to set up, now it's time to add our tires. They'll go on there like that. Dry fit everything just to make sure that it works. And then you just want a little dollop of glue, not even a dollop, just a little spot. Get some to come out the nozzle here. Not a lot. Don't get any on the outside, because you don't want your wheels to be attached permanently. You want them to rotate. So as I put this axle in, I'm going to turn it a little bit to help spread the glue around the inside of the hole. I won't push it all the way in so the wheel can still turn. Then I do the same thing for this other side. While we got it upside down, now's a good time to glue in our tail hook. Might need some more glue. Put a little dot of glue, spread it around as you turn the peg as you put it in. Then all we got left is to attach the propeller. This one, if we leave it upside down, might be easier to just run a little line of glue on the wooden dowel. Put it in the hole, turn it a little bit as we go. Don't get any on the propeller itself because you still want it to turn. And then we're complete.